and welcome to the Views Club. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make sopes. I'm going to be making them out of chicken and I'm going to have it in segments, okay? First I'm going to show you how to make the sopes and then I'm going to show you how to season your chicken. And at the end, if the way we make the sopes right here doesn't work out for you, I'm going to have a little tip for you at the end. So stick around. For us to make our masa, you're going to need 1 cup of maseca, 1 cup of water, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. The salt is optional. So let's go ahead and get started. Wow, my salt's getting stuck lately. Okay, so here for our water portion, I'm going to start off with adding 1/2 cup of the water first, mix it around, and then I'll add a little bit more. And I'll be adding it little by little because I don't want it too soft because I want it to keep its form. And when you make them with maseca, they tend to be a little bit heavier than if you have them from a local market or fresh masa. I don't know if I mentioned I am using warm water. When you hear that sound with your masa with your hands, you know you're getting to a good part. And at this point, I'm only going to add them a little bit of the water a little bit at a time because I don't want it to be too soft. You'll notice with your masa when you're making it that once it starts looking really smooth when you press it, that you're ready to go. I had a cup and I have, let me see how much is left. There's still a little bit of water left, so just take it easy until you feel the softness that you need for your masa. I mean, I should have picked a bigger bowl, right guys? It's smooth, it's firm, and the other thing is that we're going to be dipping our hand in here to make our tortilla for our sopes. So I usually use a tortilla press, but for today I'm going to use a cutting board because I know a lot of you guys don't have one yet, so we're gonna do that. So get a little piece of your masa. I'm in the works of getting a little scale so that I can give you guys better measurements, but just bear with me.
Is that like the size of a tennis ball? Golf ball?
In between a golf ball and a tennis ball. Actually, more like a golf ball. Let me see. Let's figure this one out. It's slightly bigger than a golf ball. Okay? I'm going to put it right here and we're going to press it down. And this is a little bit different than the tortillas. You don't want to give it a full press. You just want to press it gently. So you guys can see the thickness right there. Just like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to groove it to the side, okay? The plastic is super helpful for me. You want to pick up the little ridges on the outside. So that's how you want to make it to the grooves here. This one, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. If you guys do it this way, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult, but you guys can get it done faster. And right after you're done with this one, you want to put it in the fryer, so that way it's done and you move on to the next one. And I usually have my setup right next to my stove, but for our sake right here, this is kind of what you want to have. Okay? You guys have asked me what I do with my oil. I strain it and I save it. This is the one I use for fried chicken, and so far it's not burnt. We're gonna use it again for these sopes. I saved the mason jars from the Clásico tomato sauce and they work perfect for storing. I have my oil warming up here on a very, very low setting. I'm gonna add a little bit of oil to my pan. It's about a tablespoon. Okay, so what I have here, I have some tenderloin that I chopped up very, very fine. I used about 6 tenderloins, but you guys are gonna use as many as you need to feed your family. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start adding my spices. Give it a good stir so that we can combine all the spices with our chicken. When you see that your chicken's almost fully cooked, that's when you want to add your cumin. You don't want to add it sooner because sometimes cumin, if you keep it on here too long, it'll burn and it'll ruin the flavor. So this is about a good time. And then just make sure to stir it and mix it up very well. And you can use whatever type of chicken that you want. There's times when I'm in a rush that I have rotisserie chicken that I just shred. Or chicken that I've already boiled that I have ready to go, and that's what I use for this. I already showed you guys how I boil the chicken, and that's kind of what I usually end up using for this, but today I had tenderloins handy. Okay, depending on how you like your chicken, for me I like a good buttery sear on the outside, and that's when I add a little bit of butter, hardly any, just so that I can give it that good coat and that good sear. But that part's going to be up to you guys. So from when I put the cumin in my chicken to this point, it's been about 8 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it in the back on a very low simmer while I fry up our sopes, okay? I use canola oil to fry. I'm going to make sure that my oil is ready for frying. I use a wooden spoon, a wooden chopstick, and if it bubbles around the wood, then we're ready to start. We're ready to start. If you guys decide to ask me if you can bake these, I'm gonna tell you guys this. Test it out and then come back and let us know how it worked out, because my whole life I've only had these fried and I don't know if you can bake them. It's just one of those treats that you want to have fried. While this is frying, come back and give this a little bit of a stir. Okay, so these are going to take you about 2.5 to 3 minutes to fry up. Be very careful when you're taking it out and you're handling the frying oil, guys. The ones that we did freshly, that we didn't toast on the cast iron, floats up and it's a lot fluffier. So it's gonna be up to you what you want. For me, I personally like the fluffier ones, but if you have a difficult time making them this way, both are really, really good. So once it gets to that golden color, take it out. Should take you 2.5–3 minutes. And over here, what I'm going to show you guys is the chicken. My older son's more likely to eat the chicken if it has that sear on it. That's why I do it. And you guys just want to cook it to however you like it. If you guys like the meat to just stay white, go for it. But my tribe likes it like this. So let me go ahead and show you how to prepare these and set them up. Okay friends, before we begin assembling our sopes, let me show you a quick and easy way to make a crema fresca. It's not authentic, but growing up when we didn't have it, this is how my mom made it. She used a little bit of mayonnaise, and the mayonnaise is going to be to your discretion. I think I have about 3 tablespoons here. You want to use some heavy cream or regular milk, whatever milk or dairy you have, it's going to work. Don't use your coffee creamer. Half and half will work. I just need to clarify because sometimes, just sometimes, guys. So go ahead and pour that in with your mayo. And I'm using heavy cream today. Give it a quick stir. When you taste it just like this, you're gonna be like, that's not gonna work. But when you have it with the combination of the rest of the sopes, it's perfect. You're gonna add salt to taste and a little bit of pepper. Make sure you mix this well. After you mix it, give it a good taste. If it tastes too much like mayo, you might need a little bit extra milk, a little bit of salt, and you're set. So let's go ahead and begin assembling our sopes. Now that we've done our crema fresca, let's go ahead and begin assembling the sopes. This sope is the one that I just fried up after I shaped it, and this is the one that we made into a tortilla. I prefer the light, soft one, but it's gonna be up to you guys, okay? We're gonna grab a little bit of crema. A little bit, a lot. It's gonna be to your discretion. And you wanna smear it at the bottom. My bean recipe, I'm gonna put the link at the end and in the description area for you guys. And I show you from the point from where I'm boiling it to where we make the refried beans. So we're gonna add some beans. Smear it all on the bottom. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and add our chicken. And if you guys just don't wanna use chicken, you just wanna eat it with the beans, it's perfect. If you wanna use shrimp, you can add shrimp. Or you can do some shredded beef, meat, ground beef. The options are endless. So once you've added your crema, your beans, and your protein, you want to add a little bit of chopped lettuce. And I chop the lettuce very, very fine because if you chop it too big, it's just going to fall off. Optional tomatoes. Not everybody likes tomatoes. Okay, so this is going to be an optional for you guys. I usually use a lot of the Costco shredded Mexican blend, but today I'm going to be using queso cotija. Okay, so at this point you want to use your favorite salsa. You can make a fresh salsa, a hot salsa, but right now I'm still loving this guacamaya, so I'm going to use a little bit of guacamaya today, or a lot. I'm ready for a taste. I'm hungry. And that's how you make some homemade sopes. If you guys like this recipe, give me some thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed and you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. And make sure you send me your guys' recipes, the ones that you've made on Twitter and on Instagram. And I post them right here. I better give this a taste because I gotta feed some troops right now, so. Mmm. Ooh, that's so good. The story of my life. You're being an aggressive helper, Cloudy.
I'll try getting my shirt.
I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. I love hanging out with you guys. And on that note, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye! Adios! Once you made your tortilla, you want to put it on a pan. I'm going to be using my comal. This is actually, guys, don't be scared of this. This has been handed down to me, and I'm very grateful for it. It's my great-grandmother's, and it's been in our family for a very, very long time. So we're just going to cook the tortilla part before we press it in to form it like a sope. And when you make it this way, this is my mom's favorite way to make them. When you make them this way, you give it a little bit of more color, more of a unique look to it. So what you're going to do, you're going to cook it about 2 minutes on each side. Just like that. Okay, you want to be very careful at this step because this step can really burn your hands if you're not used to it. But this is, if you're going to be making a lot of portions, this is probably the best way to do it. So you're going to press the outsides. Just like that. Whoop. See, so when you make it for your family, you have that little unique shape from the toasted tortilla, and you just set them on the side and then fry them next. Pretty easy, right, guys? Just be very careful when you take it off that you don't burn your fingers, and if it's too hot, just do what I did. Give it some air. So once you do this, this is when you want to fry them and do the step that you saw earlier for us. I hope that helps you guys, and please make sure to let me know how it worked out for you.